Hi, I'm Lynn with Martin Russell Imports, and I am here with Joe, and I'm sorry, you have to say your last name.
Buonincontri.
Buonincontri. At Luce Ristorante in San Antonio. And we get to learn a little bit about his restaurant and all the wonderful things that he has here. So I'm glad that you could join us today.
Glad to be here. Thank you for being here.
Tell me a little bit about Luce. This is my first time here, and it is a beautiful restaurant.
Thank you. Luce opened in 2006, and for the most part, the first 7 years, I focused typically on Southern Italian cuisine. Many recipes from my grandmother, my mother, my family, and that sort of thing. Took a recent trip to Italy and in December and spent a little more time in Umbria and Tuscany, and I've made some adjustments to the menu featuring several new dishes from those areas. And for the most part, the cuisine
having
is
a lot of fun, huh?
It is. You know, it's a great way to take a vacation and to help educate yourself on the culture and Italian cuisine.
Well, and what I noticed, my goodness, the menu is very extensive. You have lunch, you have dinner. There's wonderful selections here. I could see about 20 things I could have just for lunch.
I told you earlier, I have a hard time taking menu items off. I update the menu every 2 or 3 months, and it seems that I just keep adding to the menu. So I now have the biggest piece of paper that I could buy and print here. So the page isn't going to get any bigger, but I probably will add more menu items for sure.
Fabulous. So I have a question. This is called Luce Enoteca.
Yes.
I can see around here just all of the bottles of wine all over. So that is library, is that correct?
Yeah, wine. Enoteca is a wine library, and wine is a very big part of what we do here at Luce. I particularly enjoy having the guests select a wine with our advice sometimes and match it up with the food, because to me that's the beauty of
you're getting the authenticticness of it, and when it's so much fun to pair the wine with the food and actually get them to get all those flavors together.
Exactly. So that's what we do.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
So yes, I see a whole lot of wine around here. Did you mention that you do wine dinners as well, correct?
We do. In fact, we're going to be featuring your wines March 29th, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. And really look forward to those dinners, because it allows me and my staff to sort of stretch when it comes to putting together a menu, and certainly exposing our guests to new wines from new regions. In particular, the Italian wines are very interesting because of the thousands of grape varietals that exist in Italy. And with this upcoming March 29th dinner, we'll see that when we use Negromaro and the Pecorino. These aren't the most popular or talked about Italian grapes or wines, but we will feature them, and it's going to be a fun event. I know.
A little education, so
without a doubt,
they'll get a little taste of it, and it could become their new favorites. Who knows?
I hope so.
So tell me a little bit about where you are from in Italy, and what made you decide. How did you get here to San Antonio with this wonderful place?
Well, my grandparents, both sets of grandparents, immigrated from Naples, Italy in the early 1900s through Ellis Island.
Oh,
and
that's how my mom got here.
Yes, so you know that history. It's very interesting. It was great to talk to them about that journey and the reasons why they came to America.
Exactly.
It wasn't that long ago, and I know my experience as an Italian American has allowed me to focus on their whole trials and tribulations and life, and I'm glad I've had that experience. I grew up in New York, in Brooklyn, and then as a teenager, my parents took us to Long Island to get out of the city. And so, first 30 years of my life, I was in New York. I transferred with Marriott Hotels to San Antonio, chasing a woman who's now my wife. So,
well, at least it worked out.
Yeah, it's. I'm happy I'm here, and I always say, that it feels like a perpetual vacation. I've been here for almost 25 years now, and I find San Antonio to be a very relaxing and enjoyable place to live. That's for sure.
Wonderful. Well, I'm sure the San Antonians are very happy that this restaurant is here. So I have a question. Since I have never eaten here, what are the favorites? What are the things that you and people are asking, or the ones that you really want to point out to them?
Sure. There's a lot of different ways you could eat at Luce. I have a very popular happy hour in the afternoon, Monday through Saturday from 4:30 to 7 p.m. And we feature wine by the glass, beginning at $4 a glass. All of the appetizers, including pizzas, are half price during happy hour. So if, for a quick meal, for a real value meal, happy hour, is
you get to taste a lot of different things and not spend a whole lot of money, and
exactly.
That sounds fun.
It's a great introduction to the restaurant. Then at dinner, the list of antipasti is very long, and so that kind of is emblematic of an Italian meal, where you have a nice, sometimes that's the whole meal.
And then how many courses are there? There's at least 8, I think.
Exactly.
You can have like 3 antipastis.
So I have a big focus on the appetizers and the antipasti. We do great pizzas, Neapolitan style pizza, very thin crust, homemade mozzarella cheese, San Marzano tomatoes. These are the great ingredients that make a great pizza. 2 new items, stromboli. We have a broccoli rabe and sausage, a real nice marriage of flavors, and that's new. I've emphasized pasta more with this winter menu. A beautiful typical dish from Umbria called rigatoni alla norscina. And what I find interesting is when you can combine just a few items, interesting items. In this pasta dish, we have sausage, grana padano cheese, cream, and then black truffle oil.
Oh, wonderful.
And it's amazing how that dish pops. It's so satisfying and rich, really delicious.
And something by you saying that reminds me, in Italy, everything is so fresh and it's simple. We always say here in America, we always overdo it. You put too many ingredients in there.
I agree with you 100%.
That sounds wonderful.
The challenge always is when you try to reproduce what you've had in Italy is, like you said, the raw product. One of my pet peeves is not having a tomato that tastes like a tomato.
Yes.
Sometimes if you go to the supermarket and you purchase a tomato that's not completely ripe, or maybe it was ripened through some sort of artificial process, the tomato almost tastes like a cucumber to you. The raw product and how good is your raw product is going to definitely have a huge impact on, what type of quality dish that you're going to have. Osso buco, veal slow braised osso buco, especially in the cool weather, is a big favorite here. We make homemade gnocchi. Gnocchi is one of those dishes that people will grade your Italian restaurant based on the quality of your gnocchi. So we do it 3 different ways.
To make sure you get A+, A+, A+.
Exactly. And another new dish, which is a beautiful ragu that I had in Tuscany, and it's a combination of pulled duck meat and ground wild boar. And that's a slow braised sauce with carrots and onions, really delicious and satisfying.
Well, I know where I'll be coming. When I come back to San Antonio, I am coming here for sure. I also noticed that you've got the wine, for wine dinners, you've got a wonderful private room, you have a nice patio outside, so it seems like you've got, depending on what you're in the mood to come in here for lunch or for dinner, you've got little areas for everybody, so beautiful restaurant.
Thank you. It's got a nice space, and we could utilize the space in a lot of different areas.
All right. Well, I appreciate it so much. Thank you for having me today.
My pleasure.
And I'm Lynne Martin with Martin Ulysses Imports. This is Joe.
Perfect.
Say it.
Buonincontri.
Buonincontri. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.